Well, I think one of the things I think would be especially interesting, well, you know how old guys are, they think they're interesting. You know, I'm always looking for an effective angle in marketing that can help us sell more product. It took me a while to figure that out, but if you sell more product, you get to do it again.
True.
Yeah. So we did not come up with this, but we jumped on it when we heard about, you know, like a crank it up contest, a sound off contest. So in the mid 80s, we sat down, and I sat down with some really sharp people like Scott Schmidt and Debbie Miller, and we put together some basic criteria for hosting your own sound-off contest at your store. And the whole point back then was to create an environment where people were genuinely interested in competing and finding out how great their system sounded compared to somebody else's. But you don't want to ever lose sight of the goal, which was to sell more audio, help your customers, the dealers,
sure,
take care of their customers. So those early days with sound-offs were stuff that I really reflect on fondly, because it was at the root of it all. It was a group of people like we are still today, fanatics about audio and getting the most out of the equipment, and doing it in an environment where it was really competitive, and so we put that criteria together, and it really, really worked. It helped us grow our sales radically to the point where we were actually struggling to keep up. And I don't remember what year it was, but you know, every year we used to beat feet to Vegas for the Consumer Electronics Show, and there were so many comments and outcries coming from competing companies claiming that we were playing with a loaded deck, that I finally said, well, look, let's just invite them all to come to our suite at our hotel in Las Vegas during the convention, and we'll get everybody together and we can compare ideas and thoughts, and maybe what we can do is legitimize this, because I really was looking for a way for us to make it legit and straight up. But the whole point is to sell product. So we did get together, and I remember addressing the crowd, not unlike, you know, Otter in the movie Animal House, where I stood at the little podium in the suite and they said, we've been accused of taking liberties with our judging. We did. And, you know, it was just what we were up to. But what it did was it spawned the creation of sanctioning bodies. I forget, I think the first name was NACA, North American Car Audio, and it morphed into a number of different things, IASCA and USAC, and like I was showing you earlier, I found my USAC membership from '96. That was pretty handy. But so what came from that was legitimacy and participation of all the other brands, and it just exploded at that point, and proved to be the kind of vehicle that everybody won. All the brands had a heightened exposure and visibility. Everybody sold more product, and the consumers got great products. And you know, it's true too, and I know you especially got hit with it, was technical advances. All these folks competing were pushing all these products to the limit, and it forced us as manufacturers to scratch our heads and come up with solutions, because the bar kept getting raised. And so, you know, that was a real driver for our business.
You know, it's interesting, you're right about that, Kevin. Back in those days, I mean, it was constantly, when that finally happened, is one manufacturer come out with a feature set or something that they could promote or tout, whether it was lower THD or triple Darlington, or, you know, there's a host of things you can bring up from that day. But it really was, companies really pushed themselves, you know, to the point today that, you know, most electronics, they're pretty darn good.
Yeah, oh yeah. And it's phenomenal how far it's come, and we've been at it long enough now we can get nostalgic about the old amps and drivers and things like that. But it's this kind of competition, I think, that really drives us to keep developing things, and it's still alive today.